break it down for me because I really love this idea and this concept, and you're even writing a whole book about it. So, what is Freudenspanne?
Okay, great. Thanks. Well, just I'll take a step back. Freudenspanne is. I'll give you the definition, then take a step back from
Sure.
that about where it came from. So, Freudenspanne is defined as the quantitative effects emotions have on the biomarkers of aging. And in simplistic terms, that sounds very technical, but fundamentally, why do people die of a broken heart, or
Mm.
do they die of a broken heart? And why do people's hairs turn white overnight? Why is it when you feel great you look younger? How many times have you had a couple of drinks and you're feeling great, and someone says you look fantastic? You're like, I haven't slept all night, I've been drinking all night, but you look great. Why is that? Right? Obviously, it's not sustainable, but that area, there is a reason, and that is the thing that we looked at. And our background as biologists and the team that created this. So I am the founder of Austin Biotec. I'm the co-founder. There's another founder, Deborah Phillips, as well, who's a college roommate of mine, college friend of mine as well. And we've got some interesting stories together that we've done. But
Mm.
we there's a whole team of us behind this, and what it is that when we're looking at procedures about keeping people healthy and well, we discovered about emotions. And a lot of health and wellness is very male driven. It's very tech bro driven. How big your muscles are, how many inches you've got, yada yada. And it's like, well, there's two halves to the spectrum. There's men and women. I know that's sort of, a very old fashioned way of saying things, but they are two halves of the circle. And they do have their individual strengths and weaknesses, and they complement each other. They're not equal, they're complementary. And so we've looked at it from a far more female driven perspective, which I can tell you, I thought I was in touch with my feminine side until I actually delved into this. I don't know anything, nothing at all.
You
I
were
really
quickly corrected.
quickly, I was quickly brought that chopped down at the knees, I tell you. But it's so that's basically where it came from, and it stemmed for Freudenspanne. And when we were looking at extending lifespans and health spans, and we obviously decided that this is no emotions involved in it, because again, that we have a saying in Greek: if I don't drink or smoke, I will live to be 100. I'm not going to I'm going to do the translation, but even if I don't, it will feel like it. Now, I'm not saying that drinking and smoking is a good thing, but it's that relaxation. And when you
Mm-hmm.
look at things like the blue zone diets and the blue zone areas, which we were talking about, and being a Greek, albeit with an English accent, but a Greek from Crete and from the Ikaria area as well, is that when you look at the long livers around the world, they have three things in common. The first thing is regular moderate exercise.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is social networks. And they have the idea now. It's a double-edged sword living in the village. They all know your business, but also it means that when you're in trouble, you've got support.
Yes.
And as we age, our ability to resist trauma is the wrong word. Resist change
Yeah.
can be diminished. If you don't use it, you lose it. And then the third thing is believing in something greater than yourself, whether it's God, Jesus, Buddha, whatever it is, Gaia, Yahweh, I don't know, but all of those things. It's something greater. We're not top of the tree. Those are the three things that are common amongst all the long living communities of the blue zones. So let's look at those 3 points. Okay, regular moderate exercise, that's standard, stay fit. Believing in God and believing in social networks, that's not a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a mental thing. That's maybe spiritual, but it's definitely emotional. I mean, there's nothing worse than being betrayed by someone close to you. Right? Think about it. I'm sure we've all had betrayals by friends or family. And when you have that betrayal, depending on what level it is, it's really painful because it's that person that you trust. It's like, in The Godfather, when Fredo, takes out Michael, he's like, what have you done? My brother, and so that's the thing. And that can affect you. And that aged him. that made him an evil man, that made him
Mm-hmm.
become something that he should never have done. And he was racked by guilt, and in the end, he paid the price. That's a classic story arc. And so therefore, that's where Freudenspanne comes from.